what if what if you could teleport, but the only stipulation is that wherever you teleport, you like if I you end up there nude. Like you can teleport anywhere, but when you come back to the other side, you're there. You all your clothes diminish in the teleportation.
They shatter, they disintegrate.
I mean, you could. I mean, if you teleport to the same places a lot, you could have a stash of
Yeah,
clothes there.
yeah.
But if you're
I
like,
you
hey, I
know
just want to go to Times Square. Well, you better be ready.
that's when you call the hotel ahead of time and say, hey, I want the room, what's the room number, and then you
Yes,
teleport to the room number. So if you could do that,
that's a good
I'll
idea.
take it. I will take it.
That's a good idea. So, what's been going on this week? Anything interesting?
So I had to shoot a movie for my class. I did the rough cut last week for it, and I just filmed it around the apartment. Alex helped me film it, and then I had voices sent in from some actors that I worked with around the country. So I did the rough cut last week, and then this week I refined it. It's called Daffodil: A
Okay.
Tragedy.
Okay.
And then I just put the finishing touches on it and exported it right before we got on the call. And I put together a little poster for it too. It's very simple, simplistic. And once I turn this in, then I'm done with my class. And then I only have one more class left until I finish my MFA, which won't be until July. But
So not
still
far.
working hard on that.
Not
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
So
How about you?
how long is
Oh,
it? The short. How long is it?
it's just under 7 minutes.
Okay.
It was 8
Nice.
pages, but it
Oh,
ended up, I knew it was going to play faster. So I didn't really have to cut anything. And I got it
right.
to 7. And I'm in it. I have to act in it, but you never at any point see my face. Because I had to
Okay.
have I had two humans that you can see in it. One of them was video sent in from somebody that I knew had the gear to do it. And then the other one was me.
Uh huh.
So, yeah, what have you been up to?
Okay. Because
Oh,
you don't really get into in front of the camera very often.
not as an actor. As a broadcaster, yes. I can play
Right.
different versions of myself, but like straight up acting, I mean, you've seen me act before. Remember the horror movie that we did where I had to scream and roll down the stairs?
Yes.
Because I have a
And,
when I yell, I have a very high pitched voice.
and I do have that footage. It's on a little cassette, I guess.
Wait, what do you have?
But I also I think that's at Jeremiah's as well.
Oh, okay.
So it may be lost forever, just in her memory.
Yep. It's good times
So
though.
it was a fun time though. I did enjoy I did enjoy that, and that's when the shoe actually rolled down the stairs as well. Remember that shoe
The
with a bloody
the
sock
foot.
in it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
The foot, yes.
That was You had me doing something else in there too. I forget what it was, but that was one of the first times I took Alex to Wise.
Oh, that's did she come there with us?
Yeah, because she still talks about that scream that I did. It was so high pitched. You got to find it somewhere or uh,
I'm gonna try.
barter back
Have to.
for it.
I'll have to get it because it's too good to like it be lost. It has to
I
be.
would like to have a copy of it just
It,
for
it,
my own
that was
highlight reel.
do you realize though that was probably 10, maybe 12 years ago?
I think it was last week.
Last week?
Maybe it was like 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe it was right before the quarantine. Let's
Okay.
just put it that way.
So speaking of broadcasting, I've noticed and I've thought about this, and I was going to get your take on this. When we first started the show, it seemed like we were more quote shock jocks, and we've slowly gotten away from that,
Yeah.
and and we didn't take it to the extreme of like Howard Stern or Opie and Anthony or some of these people, but that was a lot of influence when I first started the show. But now I feel like we've grown as broadcasters.
We're like doing a podcast, like a like a chatting podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say though, sometimes though, I I feel like I could be more, I guess, more funny, I guess, in studio though.
Yeah, all right. So I'll say this: ever since the reboot of the show, which is the Other People show, I have felt like there's been two factors that have changed for us. One, we haven't been in a studio, which that's a huge factor.
Yes,
And two, we don't record at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning anymore. And I
that's
think
true.
those two things have calmed, because I'm way more calm at 2 o'clock in the afternoon than I am at 1 or 2 in the morning after we've driven, an hour and a half to
Yeah.
a little remote radio station. I think if we went back to late night stuff and we
Yeah.
were back in a studio and we had to like make a big ordeal out of it, I think we could get it back up to that.
I
Like,
think so too. I don't because I was listening, go back and listen to the shows, and I enjoy the shows, but I don't feel personally my energy is up. So
on
I
the old ones or the new ones?
the new ones,
The new ones, yeah.
yeah. And even when it's so weird because there's been several incarnations of the show over the years, and the main ingredient. Well, for a couple of the when I did the show quite a bit with Jeremiah, it was him, myself, and then just random people that we could really get. And a lot of those, for me anyway, I did like performance art because I quite often I had something to drink there. And
Hmm.
like if you go back and watch some of those, but I always wanted the audience to think, is he really drinking alcohol, or what is he drinking? It could have been, maybe it wasn't.
Who
I'm not
knows?
really, because I've had people ask me, they're like, "Wow, you acted really drunk. Were you drunk on that show?" Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. I've never
Yeah.
really gave out, but I thought, well, I knew at the time I couldn't do the show that I exactly wanted to do, so I had to fill that crazy void by doing other things, I guess. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get back to.
And just being in a studio, I feel like is like that to me just hypes me up because it's like so professional. When I'm sitting in, you can't see it, but when I'm sitting in my
Mhm.
bedroom, it's definitely a lot different than if sitting in a studio. I mean, when I'm sitting near the tarmac of the
Yes.
Atlanta airport.
Well, speaking of airport, do you realize that I think it was 2 years ago yesterday, you and I went to New York City?
That was 2 years ago. That was the
Yeah,
last time we've seen each other in person.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it showed up on my in my snap. It showed up there, and that was such a
Dang.
quick. It was a quick trip. It was.